Next tour is Non-Invasive Brain-Machine Interface System Lab by Jose Contreras. Vidal, you know him as Pepe.
Thank you. Thank you.
3.
Hello, welcome to the Laboratory for Non-Invasive Brain-Machine Interface Systems. I'm Pepe Contreras Vidal, the lab director and the director of the IUCRC Brain Center here at the University of Houston. I'm very pleased to open my lab for you today and show my core staff in the lab and talk a little bit about the projects. So the laboratory focuses on understanding the brain and developing technology to communicate the brain with machines, computers, and other objects in the world, including virtual objects. And we focus on non-invasive neuroimaging. And what you can see here are examples of the different technologies to record scalp electroencephalography, or EEG, which measures brain waves that are captured by this sensor that could be dry or wet on the surface of the scalp. And we run experiments from babies 6 months old to adults and older people using different systems. We use brain products, one of our industrial members in the Brain Center, to conduct experiments on the wild, at museums, performing venues, in the laboratory, and also in the clinic. And I would like to introduce Andrew Peck, a postdoctoral fellow working on a different modality of neuroimaging. Andrew? Sure.
Hi, my name is Andrew. My project involves developing brain-machine interfaces for optically pumped magnetometers. These are devices that can perform magnetoencephalography at room temperature, so we think it's going to be a new, exciting neuroimaging modality for brain-machine interfaces. My work involves developing the software to benchmark these devices for a BMI, and it also involves fabricating the hardware to utilize these sensors. Over the past year, I've developed a helmet which is used to stabilize the position of the OPM sensors around a user's head. We currently have a prototype 3D printed, and it's currently in Colorado for testing. Thank you.
I would like to introduce now Kevin Nathan, a recent PhD and soon a postdoctoral fellow in the lab working on neurorobotics.
Hi, so my name is Kevin Nathan, and these are the exoskeletons developed by Rex Bionics. There are 3 different generations, so you can kind of see the developments over time. And what we started, especially with this one, is we built a wireless interface that can be controlled by brain-machine interface. So we've been doing studies on how we can use EEG detect signals to walk and stop and to control the walking motion of the Rex. And what you may notice is that they're pretty bulky, but these are very special because they're designed to be completely weight supporting and completely stable. So normally a fully paralyzed spinal cord injury patient could be using this to walk around, but now we're trying to bypass these joysticks and just to be able to, so they can just consciously think about walking and go.
Thank you, Kevin. I'd like to introduce now Shay Ravindran, a PhD student in my lab, and he's been working with a different type of exoskeletons and Shay?
Yeah, thanks, Pepe. So as Kevin mentioned, Rex are pretty bulky, so if you want to use it on a day-to-day basis, it doesn't seem very intuitive, right? Which is why the current systems are quite sleeker, this is a exoskeleton from Gogoa called Hank, which is also a collaborator and industry partner of Brain Center. One of the main concerns with developing the systems for helping with rehabilitation is the balance or the risk associated with falling, right? As we discussed before, the reason why it's bulky is it's self-balancing. That's why it's pretty bulky. But these systems have no modalities to prevent fall or reduce the damage from it. So my project is currently involving trying to see if there is representation in the brain which you can use to prevent or anticipate fall early on. So we found that as early as like 50 to 60 milliseconds, there is a signal in the EEG which you could actually use to prevent or reduce the fall-related accidents.
I would like to mention that this project is in collaboration with Tier Memorial Hermann and our colleague, Dr. Joel Francisco, a clinician at the hospital, has contributed to make this system safe. Now I'd like to move another project. This is a National Science Foundation funded project from the Program Partnerships for Innovation. And Alex Craig and Jose Gonzalez have been working in the next generation of brain-machine interfaces for upper limb exoskeletal rehabilitation in stroke patients. Alex?
Hi, I'm Alex Craig. I've been a third-year PhD student under Dr. Contreras. The main focus of my research has been on the NeuroExo project, the NSF-funded NeuroExo project, where we're intending to design a brain-computer interface system. This includes a custom headset, custom electrodes, custom amplifier, processing with LabVIEW over processing third-party processing board. The current focus of this system is for a stroke rehabilitation scheme, where we're measuring the user intent and setting a control signal to a robotic arm made by our partners at Harmonic Bionics. But we're very excited to continue development of this system for other applications, such as gaming and virtual reality.
Hi, my name is Juan José González España. I'm second year PhD student on Pepe's lab, and I'm working on the design and development of an EEG amplifier for dry electrodes, which can be used in virtual reality, gaming, via IoT, and in particular is being used right now in the integration with the robotic system for rehabilitation on the NeuroExo project. And we can see here where the EOG sensors are over the face, while the EEG sensors are over the sensory motor area.
Thank you, Jose. This is a nice collaboration with the Brain Center. The Brain Center is an industry-university partnership, and this program is funded by the NSF program of Partnership for Innovation. So we have industrial members that are contributing to this project. And we hope that we can transfer this rapidly to the end users. Now I would like to introduce Alex Steele, another PhD student in my lab. Alex has been working on a really exciting project at the level of the spinal cord, and this was a project that was funded by Houston Methodist, a private partner of the center. Alex?
Thank you, Pepe. I'm Alex Steele, and I believe that the spinal cord is the Rosetta Stone of the body. So by understanding how the spinal cord translates neural signals, we can better understand how the brain works. And part of that application is this project that I've been working on, which we're using transcutaneous spinal cord stimulation, as you can see here, to stimulate the brain and record activity while it's happening to determine kind of how the spinal cord interfaces with the brain and what happens when that interface occurs. So as you can see here, we found several different locations of activation in the brain, and this is a very novel work that we're doing, and it's never really been done. So by understanding kind of the changes that occur, we can develop things like a spinal cord machine interface and, again, understand how the brain works better. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Now we're going to move to a different wing of our building, to the biorobotics lab. Thank you.
Hi, hello. My name is David. We're here in the non-invasive brain-machine interface mechatronics lab, where we've been working on turning a 3D printed version of a pediatric exoskeleton into the actual hardware that we'll be using for testing and for research. So one of the interesting features of the device, we actually use 3D scanning to make custom braces for the children. And then we have in-house 3D printers that we can use to print the braces so that the device can have a customized fit for each child that will be using the device. So this is where we've been doing bench testing, and we'll continue to be doing that during the summer and into the fall. So these are some different tools, some different machines that we have.
Well, thank you. So this is a quick overview of the lab. I think we have time maybe for one question. Of course, you're invited all to come and try our system. So
Anybody have any questions for Pepe or his team members? No. Okay.
One question. This is for now.
Okay. Sure.
Pepe, very interesting. You know, the last part in the pediatric stuff. So my question is, are you doing EEG decoding as well in kids to drive prosthetic device?
Yeah, we have collected preliminary data. We actually published a paper on that, and we are looking forward to closing the loop with this. So we have now IRB approval to start clinical trials. We had to suspend that due to COVID, but we're hoping to start this summer with Team Memorial Hermann. They have a new pediatric clinic.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Pepe. Our next lab